In this video, I'll show you how to go about getting the assignment, adding texture, spacing, and depth for your basic graphic design class. The instructions are fairly straightforward, although they will probably look different by the time this video is done. Just know that we want to download this file that's called wall199c.jpg. I'm going to right click on it and tell it to save the link as, and I'm going to save it on my desktop. That way I know where it is. I can go and find it. It's a JPEG. I'll save. So this will involve customizing the installation with add-on textures, brushes, actions, styles, or fonts. Now this is any of these. If you do all, great. If you do multiple ones, if you add textures or brushes, some actions, styles, etc., that's great. If you use a new font, same thing. Adding depth with the vanishing point, that's the main purpose of this video, is to show you how to use that filter, or the page curl or 3D postcard. And then there is something wrong with this picture. The finger was in front of the lens, so we will be getting rid of it with different options. So now that I already have this, I've already opened Photoshop. I'm going to go to the File menu and Open, and find it in my desktop. And there it is, Wall 199C. Click and Open, and the wall should appear. I'm going to minimize the windows to the right side, and just to get more space, I'll close that little message, and now I'm ready. I'm going to press Ctrl-0 just to zoom in and get as much of the picture as I can on the screen. And what I want to do, I want to add some text. And why not? Let's see, let's go over. I'm going to go to a website that's called Font Squirrel. I don't remember if it's font space squirrel or not, so I'm just going to type in my Google search, or actually my DuckDuckGo search, Font Squirrel, and there's the website, fontsquirrel.com. And I use this website because they have a select group of fonts that they have collected. They're all legal to download. There's no price for them, and you shouldn't get into trouble if you use them. So I'm going to go into the very bottom one just because it's easy. This is an OTF font. It's just an open type font format, and there's TTFs, there's other kinds. Just know that all of these will work on either a Mac or a PC. I'm going to click on Download OTF, see where it takes me. Well, just to download, so I'm going to save the file, and I'll save this one on my desktop as well. Easy to find. Save. I'm going to minimize to see my desktop. There's my wall, but then there's the zip file that I just downloaded. If you're working on a Mac, it'll look just a little bit different. You would just double click on the archive to get it expanded. I'm going to right click on my Windows and tell it to extract all. I'll extract it to the same place, and now I have this folder. These are the contents of the folder. I have chunk 5 print and regular. I'm going to click on one and then hold my shift key and click on the other. I could also double click them individually. I just want to open them all at the same time, not with brackets. So okay, well, why don't I then install rather than open? Installing the fonts into the system, and so when I'm using my Photoshop application, I should be able to find chunk whenever I type something. I'm going to type using my type tool, the text tool down here. I get my cursor up on the side. I'll click and I'll type in El Centro College in all caps. I'll type El Centro and then return college. You probably can't see that, neither can I. It's very small. It's just Myriad Pro, and it's the wrong color. It's too dark. I'm going to press Command A on a Mac to select everything and change the text from 12 point to the largest I can see here, 72. It's pretty big. Next, I want to change my font using the caret here. I just downloaded chunk, so I want to look in the letter C and find chunk. Here, let's see. I could have also started to type in chunk, but there's chiller, chunk 5. There's one that's thicker than the other. Looks like it's got some texture actually, the print. So I'm gonna pick that one just to be different. And now that it's typed in, I'm gonna use my move tool to sort of move it around a little bit. This may present a problem later. The space between El Centro College and those words may be a little bit too much. So I'm going to bring back my layers so I can see them. I'm going to the window menu and clicking on El Centro College here. The T tells me that this is where the text is to edit. I'll double click. Now it's selected. I can change it. I can make it larger. I probably want it to be bigger than 72. So I'm going to type in the number, I don't know, just arbitrarily I'll type in 90. And I'm going to make sure that it's centered. That would be this tool here, the center. That way it will look that way whenever it's finished. I'm going to also work on what I was going to do, which was delete but rather decrease the spacing between the words. For that, I'm going to go to my window and find the character window. The character window has several controls, and one of them is the leading. That's the space, the vertical space between them. Set the leading is what this tells me it does. I can click and drag to the left to decrease it. See the numbers going down. You can also go the opposite way and increase it, or you could just type in a number. If I type in 90, it comes close to what I might want, but I'm just going to decrease it visually to that point. Now that I sort of like where it is, I'm going to use my move tool again and just kind of put it in the middle. The objective of this assignment is to get the type to line along the wall. For that, it needs to be not just text, it needs to be a graphic. Because the filter that we're using cannot handle the graphic like this. Before I do that, I'm going to make a couple of modifications to the text. I'm going to add an effect, and I'm going to change the color. I'm going to go back to my text tool, and once again in my layers, I'll double click on the T. El Centro College is highlighted. I'm going to change the color up here from black to somewhere in the blue family, and I'm scrolling down the blues and then just selecting one. I don't remember what precisely the mix is for the El Centro College blue, but it'll be close enough. And I'm also going to add an effect. Currently these are at the bottom of the layers, and I can't do it while it's also in this mode. So I'm going to click on my move tool again. That way El Centro College layer is selected. The effects now is ready to use. If I click on that, I'm going to click on stroke. Stroke basically will add a line around. And while that black actually looks pretty good, I want it to be a little bit more readable. So my stroke is going to be on the outside of the text. It's going to blend in normal. The size will probably go up to 3. It's that line, now you see it. And the color, I'm going to change it to white. I'm clicking and dragging all the way to the corner. All the values on CMAC are 0. All the values on RGB are 255. I'll click OK, and now I have El Centro College typed. As I said earlier, this is still text, so I'm going to right click on the El Centro College layer and first make a copy. I'm going to duplicate this layer so that I have a copy of it. That's the one I'm going to be working with. I'm going to poke the eye on the original one so that if I want to use this again, it'll still be there waiting for me. This one though, I'm going to right click and tell it to convert to I can do a rasterized type, which will then sort of flatten that space, and it'll become a graphic. What I could also do is convert it to a smart object. So basically it will become just one thing in this layer. It's still El Centro College copy. I can't edit it anymore because it's now a graphic. And as a graphic, I can use the marquee tool to click and drag around it, and that way I can make a selection and I can say edit and I can copy it. So now that it's copied, I'm going to turn it off again so I don't see it. I'm going to go to the background. My selection is still there, so I'm going to select and deselect. Control D, the shortcut for that. Thank you, Windows. And so what I can do now that I've copied that, I'm going to go to the background, look at the wall, and select filter and add a vanishing point. Vanishing point has multiple tools. We're interested in the very top one here, create plane tool. And you just sort of draw along the edges of the wall and as well as you can, and I think you only have to click 3 times and then you'll see what your grid looks like. If you need to modify the size of your grid, you can select the corners and move them around, bring them in, do whatever it is that you need so that the plane is adjacent to the area that you want to work with. Now I don't have a menu here, but since I copied before, I'm going to press Control V on my PC. On your Mac, press Command V to paste, and El Centro College appears. I'm going to move this onto the plane, and you'll see that the plane is now sort of bringing in the graphic. I can move it around, change it. Obviously the graphic was a little bit too big for the area, so I can press my Control T, Command T on your Mac, to get the free transform tool. I'm going to drag it down and find the corner so that I can resize the graphic. I've resized it a couple of times from the left, and I can do the same from the right if needed. And I'm moving it around to make it match the wall. Once it's where I want it, I press the enter key. I could have also pressed the check mark somewhere, I think, but now it's in place and El Centro College appears in front of this area. So now that that's done, one more thing that I need to do is I need to get rid of the finger in the lens that appears up here. Multiple ways that you can do this. The easiest way, and I'll let you choose whichever one you like. Let me close this advertising. I'm going to use my rectangular marquee tool. I'm still in the background. I'm going to sort of consider the sky. It's bluer in the top than it is in the middle. So if I copy a chunk of it up here, I'm going to select all that, say edit and copy, and then I say edit and paste. It'll land right on top of where the other one was. I have this layer 1 that appears, and I'm going to move the graphic to the left and see how this might actually work. I can expand it using the Control T shortcut. That's very visible, but parts of it may work okay. If I expand it onto this area, I could also say on this layer to give me a little bit less of opacity, so that I can sort of see through it and I can see what areas need to remain. I can then use my eraser button on the left side here and add a considerably larger size, maybe twice as large. Make sure that the hardness is at maybe around 50, and then just delete the area of the blue that I don't want to keep. Now I can bring the opacity up to 100%, and that works a little bit better. I can then copy another chunk of sky from this side. That's around the area where I want to have. I'm going to make sure that I'm in the background because I want to copy that blue. Edit, copy, and edit, paste to put it on top. And then with my move tool, once again, move it on to that area. It's still kind of noticeable, but I can work with the eraser tool again just to sort of get those edges off. So let me find once again this tool. I'm in the layer 2 and just kind of vanish some things out of the way. So now I have El Centro College wall with the writing. The finger is sort of out of the way. These two layers can be merged and just forgotten about. Let me show you one more way that we could have done that. I'm hiding the blue from there. What you could have done also is use the clone tool. That is the clone stamp tool right here. When I click on it, clone stamp tool, the shortcut was S. And just like I did with the eraser, and you can do with any brush, you can change the brush size. I'm going to make sure I'm on the background, and I'm going to create a new layer on top of that. You could have gone to the layer menu, say layer, new layer, but I just clicked on the icon up here for new layer. I am now going to play with the brush size. Right now it's at 21. If I click on the caret, I see that I can go up maybe a little bit higher. 50 pixels seems fine, and hardness is at 0%. I'm going to harden it up a little bit, I don't know, somewhere in the 40s perhaps. And the way that this tool works is that if you press the Alt key, I do believe it's either the Option or the Command key, probably the Option key on your Mac, it turns into a target, which will then allow you to consider the same areas that we did before, and we can sample the blue, the color, actually any part of the image from the picture. Now I'm in layer 2, which is blank, and there's nothing in there, so if I try to copy something from here, it won't allow me to do anything. I'm going to click on the sample menu. It's currently on the current layer, which is, like I said, blank. I'm going to get more options and say the current one and the one below, or all layers. Either one of these two will work fine. Usually current and below works just, works great, because although there's nothing here, there's nothing for it to mess up, and background is what we want to actually copy. So once again, holding the Alt key, click, and it made a selection of the sky. As you can see, I'm not really clicking anything, I'm just sort of hovering on top over here, and I can start to click and drag. Notice that cross that appeared on the right side, that's where its cloning area is, and it's cloning the blue. Make sure that you don't touch the wall again, because if you do, then you'll make a copy of it and it'll come back and try to get you some stuff here. See how the wall kind of appeared? I'm going to then do a new sample. I'm holding down the Alt key closer to the area that I want to affect. Click again, and then just sort of draw on top of where I want it to draw. I'm going to click on this part, and I sort of completed the same task using a different tool. There's other ways to do this. The new fill that Adobe just released, I want to say yesterday. I'm talking in October 1st of 2019. Does a great job. As soon as I find out something about it, I might record a video for that. In the meantime, this video showed you how to download a font, how to install it, how to use it in Photoshop to create a new word or logo, whatever you want to do with the font, and bring it into the same area in this graphic, and create a plane to put it into a perspective view. Plus we got rid of an extraneous object in the picture, and we're done.